Viruses. Scary, right? Right now, the world is going through a pandemic with the coronavirus, which was discovered pretty recently, and everyone knows what this is. It affects all of us. That's why I'm talking to my camera right now and not you personally. Now, today, I want to talk about the coronavirus just to get us familiar, and then I'll talk about what a virus is, how it spreads, and how it affects society. Now, the viruses are spread through bodily fluids, usually from animals. And today I'm going to tell you a little more about that. Everyone knows coronavirus, discovered in 2019 in Wuhan, China. It's caused the global pandemic we are faced with now, over 200,000 dead in the United States alone. And it affects all of us. In big ways, small ways, it affects all of us. So now I'll talk about viruses, what they are. Viruses are microscopic parasites. This is a rendition of a virus. These parasites are very, very small, and they cannot reproduce on their own. So what they do, they take over a host cell, like a human or an animal, and they rapidly reproduce their DNA until there's so much and the cell explodes, and these viruses are everywhere in the body, and it takes over. Now, you might think antibiotics will take care of them, but that is just wrong. According to the James M. Steckelberg article, Bacterial versus Viral Infections, How They Differ, so a bacteria is way, way bigger than a virus. And so an antibiotic won't even recognize a virus. It's way too small. So when these take over cells, it's exponential growth, and there's more and more until they completely take over. Now I'm going to talk about the way viruses spread. So they're passed through body fluids, through the air, or on surfaces. This is caused by sneezing, coughing, likes. And what happens, it gets in droplets of water from your body, and it spreads out to other organisms. So viruses usually come from animals before it comes to humans, like in the case of the coronavirus, came from a bat at a market. Now, these viruses transfer between animals by a type of fast evolution. So according to a CDC article titled Key Facts About Human Infections with Variant Viruses, there'll be a human virus and an animal virus, and these two viruses will mix and reproduce, and it will become a new virus that is a mutated form between the two. Now, this is dangerous because it causes spread between species. It's what caused the coronavirus that we are going through now. So now that I've talked about the virus and how it spread, I'll talk about how viruses have affected us in the past and what we did to deal with those situations. Now, the biggest one in recent years was the 1918 flu, the bird flu, which was worldwide. According to a CDC article titled History of 1918 Flu Pandemic, this virus was contracted by 500 million people worldwide, which is about a third of the world population at the time, so it was very serious. And historically, this causes panic and or shutdown of cities and countries. With the case of the coronavirus, it shut down most of the world countries worldwide due to panic and spread of the virus in attempts to stop it. Now, in the late 2000s, there was an H1N1 outbreak, which was the swine flu in the United States. Luckily, it did not get to the scale of the coronavirus, which we're dealing with now. But still, viral spreads and pandemics and epidemics are very serious to society. Alright, lastly, I'll summarize what I've said thus far. Viruses are microscopic parasites that rely on a host to reproduce and spread. They're spread through bodily fluids, through the air or on surfaces, and those can be spread by coughing, sneezing, and the likes. And if it's not kept under control, it can cause a global outbreak like what we're dealing with now. So, the main thing to take away from this is that viruses are very serious and affect everyone in some way. So it's important to remember, stay calm, clean, and informed. Now, it's pretty obvious. It's affecting all of us every day. And so that's why my visual aid is a mask. Wear your mask. Thank you.